Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy, and we are out today in Johns Creek running through an inspection repair bid for one of our clients who has this house under contract. I actually think we worked on this house like 20 years ago, but they all look kind of similar in here. But nice house, stucco house, just needs a little bit of our help. It's been recently painted. And we're only really looking at the inspection repairs at this point. So this dormer window at the front up here, the nose and the brick mold and frame on either side are rotted out. So those need to be replaced. Whenever we're replacing wood, we get asked a lot, oh, will you use vinyl? And no, we won't. Vinyl's not meant for this market. It's meant for the mid-Atlantic market. Here it will warp, it'll split, it'll fade, it'll crack, and it'll cause you a lot of trouble. We use back primed and sealed wood. Some of it we make ourselves on site. We've got master carpenters on staff that can do all this stuff. We're one call, pretty much does it all. You can see on these windows right here, and I believe this is a master bathroom. All three of these windows, the noses are rotted, and the frames on either side with the brick mold is the outer piece here, rotted on all three of those. And whoever did this just kind of painted over it, but it gets so much heat on this face of the house. That's why the window seals are like blown in this window, and these two windows are cracked. They probably cracked from the heat, and that these windows appear to have a 3M film on the inside. And it just couldn't take the heat and cracked it. That's what it looks like to me. So this window right here is cracked. You can see the crack, kind of the angle right here. This one, if you look closely in the bottoms down here, see this black piece? This is where the seals have expanded and blown. So the seal's blown in this. These are all thermopanes. We make our own, actually. So we can replace these things if that's what they want to do. These are the only seals that I see needing to be replaced. And you'll see when we talk about, here's a better view, some of the stuff that's going on. So like here, this is brick mold, and I can put my finger right through, and here's the frame. It's the same thing. The rest of them are pretty good, but the whole house, whoever just painted this house didn't caulk anything. So wherever you see black, it's gonna cause you trouble. See, in these corners right here. And then with the stucco, this little lip that goes around these windows all the way through here, if you look inside this edge right here, it's trapping water when it rains. You can see the gaps in the caulk. So we would actually build this up a little bit so it drains to the front. Just get the water out of here. See how it's tilted back in going down this line? It's the only place in the house that we see that. But anytime you see black on the house, it's gonna cost you money. All this stuff in here, no one caulked anything, they just put paint in it. That's the problem when people get ready to sell houses and they paint. They're not looking for the best painters, they just wanna make it look pretty for the sale. The inspector noted here, like in this corner, the softened fascia is rotted to the right of the front entry. And then there's kick-out flashing that bridges the gap between the gutter and the stucco. It needs to be cut into the stucco and sealed. That's missing in that corner right there. It was just pouring here a little bit ago. On the back of the house, some of the gutters, all the gutters need to be cleaned and inspected and sealed on the corners. A lot of these corners right here are leaky, and they just need to be sealed every 5 years with elastomeric sealant. This dormer up here, if you look closely, you can kind of catch it in the video right here. This nose, you see like a wrinkling just like you did on that piece of wood. That's how you know it's rotted. The front columns just need to be caulked and sealed at the bottoms because they're taking water. And again, anywhere you see black, we just run a clear elastomeric sealant right through there. Again, this corner right here where the gutter hits the side of the house needs kick-out flashing. This piece of trim up here, the inspector noted that this was rotted. Fascia is what the gutter sits against, and soffit's the underside piece. He noted this was rotted. It's not, it just needs caulk. It will rot because this gutter's leaking, and that may be what he meant to do. We see this inspector a lot. He does a very thorough inspection. One of the things that isn't addressed so much in the inspection report, we will flush these drains and see where they terminate. But anytime you got corrugated pipe like this, you really need to replace it. They must have had trouble over here, and this part of the basement was taking water at some point because somebody came back in here and did this corner right. This is 4-inch PVC. That's the right way to do it. It's more expensive, and the landscapers can't do that, but that whole system runs around to the right side here. It catches this downspout behind the bush, this downspout over here on the corner, right corner of the house, and it runs behind this fence. We need to figure out where it terminates. And every couple of years, you should pop these gutters free and just let us flush them through. The problem with a lot of the guys that come through the neighborhood cleaning gutters, they strap off one monkey and they go through with usually a blower, and they'll just blow these leaves off of here. But you need to be forcing water down with a power nozzle down these downspouts to really flush these drains out. Just sediment and silt will come off these shingles, in a form of sludge in those gutters over time. It doesn't matter whether you use gutter guard or gutter helmet. Those systems will work as long as you can clean the edges once a year. If you're not doing that, they're not gonna work. This isn't rotted, it just needs to be caulked and repainted, this first floor garage window. But when you get up in here, the second window up here, both of the bottom sashes are rotted, so we can repair those. And the left and right brick mold in the nose is rotted as well. It seems like we're pointing out a ton of stuff. We're really not. There's not a ton on this house. This chimney right here has got some woodpecker damage that just needs to be skimmed out. You can see it over the backside. I would budget to repaint this thing. They spray painted it. I would plan to really caulk and seal it all up. Most of the inspectors will recommend a Dow sealant caulk for stucco like this. It's a great product, but it can't be painted. So you've got to pick a paint that either matches the Dow product or really use a paintable elastomeric sealant like we do. It comes with a lifetime ownership warranty for anything that we do. And that's usually a better route. Down here, this deck is still salvageable, but we need to install a custom flashing plate along this line right here, so to keep the water from getting in there. This is a little slippery back here. If you guys are gonna use it, I'd recommend that we pressure wash it and then stain it and put some grit in the stain so you got some traction. Otherwise, you're gonna fall. I'll try to get under here, but this left corner needs a post, and then it needs screwed in brackets, and the balusters all the way around need to be screwed. It's probably true of the upper deck as well. This is a repair, and this is why we don't do repairs like this. This was repaired probably in the last year or two with a horizontal cut. It has since rotted that piece. You want an angle cut on a 45 and then back prime and seal that piece. It'll never rot again. Now the frame is rotted on both sides, this side too, and so we can repair all that stuff. And then down this side of the house, the drainage is all corrugated. And which, you know, the ones that are above grade, I don't worry about those. We can usually flush them out. See, like here on the deck, none of this stuff is screwed. Everything is nailed. So, you know, it's not really that strong. I can pull it apart with my bare hands. This post appears to be set in concrete right here, so I think we're good. But right here, we need another post set here. And then there's a ledger board that all these joists are sitting on, and it's all nailed. Nails are temporary. You put enough weight on it, probably never happened here, but it's pulling away from the house, and you can see where it pulled up against now when you look at it from the bottom. So we just need to go ahead and screw that stuff down. Add screws to the ledger board. And see, when you get down in here, all this corrugated pipe, you really need to replace it. It's just gonna cause you trouble. It'll back up, and eventually you'll get water in the house, and nothing good's gonna come of it. But you don't have to race to do that now. When you look at the decking system up here, galvanized flashing is always gonna go bad. It looks like it's hard to see from here, but some of it may be aluminum. They pieced some of it back in when they redid this deck. The wood doesn't appear to be that old up there, but notice how the drainage pattern, see the dark splotches? My concern is that they've got indoor, outdoor, like that AstroTurf carpet on top of this stuff, which is cool, but I don't know how it's cutting the life of this decking. If it doesn't dry out, it'll eventually dry rot. So you just need to keep your eye on it and periodically peel it back and see if that stuff's drying out, and then check it from the bottom. Most of this decking needs brackets as well. The only place they added brackets was back over here. When they actually put a hot tub up on this thing. I'm not sure who did it or who signed off on it, but putting a hot tub on a deck like this, that's, you know, 2.5-story deck off the ground on steel posts, you're just asking for trouble. I know they added a support post in the center down here and a built-up beam with some structural steel on it to take that weight. I don't know who signed off on it, but I never would. That hot tub really needs to get out of there. It's just, if you want a hot tub, cut a door through down here, like this basement bedroom or whatever that might be, drop some steps in and put it here on the ground. And you're talking about thousands of pounds of weight on a deck that it just wasn't meant for that. And again, when you look up underneath these decks, this piece here is a ledger strip and it's just nailed. So you can screw this in, and then you've got to add in screwed inside angle brackets all the way around this thing to get the strength. See up close, the water? This is the water pattern that's draining from just the basement area. How well this dries out, I don't know. And it's impossible for me to see it from the ground up here. You know, he's put some privacy screening up there, but my guess is that all these balusters need to be screwed together. If they're all nailed, he just put a privacy screen up there so they can run around in their bathing suit for that hot tub and the neighbors aren't getting a free show. This side of the house over here, I'm not gonna walk through, it's a little bit slippery right now with the camera, but in this left corner, which would be the right side of the house, you've got corrugated pipe. Up against the neighbor's side, they ran 4-inch PVC, and it runs down this line somewhere. I just don't know where it goes, but we would need to find that and figure it out. When it's cleaner back here, I would come back and repaint the base on all these metal posts. They will rust out over time if you don't do it. But if you maintain that, you'll keep the structural integrity of these poles. Someone's come back through here and added poles. It wasn't built with all these. So probably at some point the house sold and an inspector said, hey, wait a minute, you got to add some more posts. And my guess would be these outside cylinder posts got added later on, but I could be wrong. I mean, obviously they were done at 2 different times, but we're not able to get up on top of this deck right now. But we will once our buyer's able to purchase a house. The cool thing about Handy Andy is we do a little bit of everything. You know, corrugated pipe like this starts out innocent enough, and then it goes underground somewhere, and that's where the problem becomes, because all these leaves, the landscapers come and they just plow the leaves and debris over the tops. They probably all come out right on this bank right here. But once they get clogged, then you got a problem, you can't find them. Some of the HVAC, we don't do HVAC. This train unit isn't all that old. Trains do run forever. They're really a great product, they always have been. Some of these, the old Westinghouse, not so much. But this buyer will get a warranty on the house, and that'll help you for repairs for the first year. And then here, just need to replace the insulation on these lines. People don't believe this, but you can do this yourself, and you'll save probably about $10 a month in your heating costs, because when you've got exposed copper like this, it's sweating the unit and it's losing efficiency. So all these need to be replaced right here and just taped off back to the units. You know, if there's ever anything we don't do, we can refer you to people that we've known for years. It's hard to believe, but we've been here almost 30 years now in Atlanta, since 94, I guess. But my brother and I love this stuff. We got a good group of guys. We have a small handyman division now just to do little stuff that we can't get to. You can hire us hourly to come out for the little stuff that I can't come out to bid. But these kind of projects, we like to lay eyes on them to be able to see everything. But overall, a nice house, and we'll be happy to get this turned around for these guys. Take care. See you next house. Bye for now.